All right, welcome back to Denoised. It is time for the weekly roundup of all the crazy AI news.
Sora, not Sora.
Sora, not Sora. This is your episode. Let's get into it. All right, so as we're putting the show together today, I would say not a crazy volume of AI updates, but one big overarching story this week. Sora.
Probably
Sora
one of the funnest ones we've had to cover.
Regrettably, I did get sucked into the fun.
Let's cover it.
Yeah. Okay, so Sora 2 was announced. I would say my initial reaction, we were texting about this, I was just like, okay, whatever. But there were a couple of things that were weird about this.
Okay.
The new model came out, bigger, better, higher quality, does audio with the video generation. The thing that partly, maybe I feel like they fumbled the initial launch so hard because last year, it was announced and it was like, oh man, this is like game changer, huge leap in quality. And then they kept it private for months and months and months. And by the time it finally released, Kling, maybe VO3 wasn't out yet, but Kling, Runway, everyone had pretty much caught up, Luma with quality. And then by
Juan 2.1.
Juan 2.1.
Yeah.
And then by the time Sora was released as a product to the public, it was like, okay, well, we got like 5 other models that do the same, if not better quality.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like forever ago, but when Sora was announced and we saw the initial videos, it was like, wait, AI can do video? It was that sort of reaction.
Yeah, I was like, oh, wait, this is AI. I think I saw some of the clips before and I was just like, okay, what weird clips. And then I realized like, oh, this was generated. And it was like with the reflections of the woman in the subway. Yeah, it was
quite mind-blowing.
Yeah, I think in the newsletter, I called it the Lumiere train crash moment of AI, where it was just like, people are freaking out of like this new boost in technology.
Yeah.
But where it never really shipped to the public and it wasn't put in the hands.
Yeah, they totally botched that launch.
I mean, I think they had internal safety testing concerns, which fair enough, but it just took a while before it was delivered as a product.
Yeah.
Anyways, fast forward to now, and then this comes out, Sora 2, but not only is it a new model, it is also a social media, social networking TikTok style app.
Totally.
And a bigger focus, it looks like more on memes and memeing
social
yourself and making short, social, funny videos versus a filmmaking tool.
Yeah, it seemed to me it's equally as strong of a video generation model as well as a story building, narrative building model. Think of it as an LLM, if you will, because some of and we'll show you some of these examples, like you give it, hey, I want to make a video about me going to Costco and finding a giant roll of toilet paper. It turns it into a funny bit.
Yeah, it makes a 10-second bit, but it's not just like a single video output. It is multiple shots, sound design, a script. If you give it a script, it'll follow the script. If you say, I wanted them to say this, it'll usually make them say that. And then if not, it'll just generate some random audio that sort of fits in the story. I'm guessing it's something similar to like what we've seen with Seedream. Or Seedance, whatever, the video model, where they realize like in the same generation, you can create multiple shots. And so you're in that same latent space and you get that consistency of having that same world and just having multiple shots generated inside of it.
Although I will say the shots sometimes don't line up correctly, right? Yeah. So like you're in one place and then next shot over, although you're in the right universe, and we'll show you the Gladiator example, you're in a completely different part of it.
Yeah. The other thing that was big with this is this new feature they're calling Cameo, which is basically how you can scan and insert yourself into the videos, but it's sort of an interesting take on granting permission for the AI model to use your likeness. So you have to like take a video of your face, read some numbers to sort of verify it's you, and like look side to side.
Yeah, I compare it to like the Apple Face ID calibration. A little bit,
like an easier version of that.
Yeah, I think it's a really neat way to control your likeness, and especially one thing OpenAI is super careful with this deployment is getting into deepfake territory, unintentional deepfake territory.
Sort of. We'll talk about that in a second.
Okay. And the other thing that you mentioned with Sora 1 launch was alignment and safety was a big concern, right? So they had to kind of step back and figure out. I think they nailed the alignment here, although there is a lot of precious IP that you could generate.
When you're saying alignment, what do you mean by that?
Like, I can't use somebody's likeness in here without their permission, right? So let's say I take a picture of my cousin and then I upload it on this app, and it's like, make a picture or make a video of this guy doing something really silly. We're like, we detected a real person. Are you sure you want to continue? We're like, yeah. Actually, you can't. You don't have that guy's permission.
So the likeness and like protection on using the likeness of real people is one interesting protection they built in. But then there's the other separate issue of copyright and IP, which they have taken a very interesting approach on. And they're basically saying that it is an opt-out method for using IP and copyright from the copyright holder. So if you don't want people to be able to create Mandalorian characters in their video, it's up to Disney to then go tell them, hey, we want to opt out of the Mandalorian character. And they have to do it each specific IP. Disney can't just tell them, we don't want to have our library in there. It's like, no, you have to say, we don't want Mickey Mouse. We don't want Donald Duck. We don't want the Grogu with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
This is a very new approach and interesting.
The default state is we're going to grab all publicly available data unless you opt out. Which is
they've grabbed it. They already grabbed it.
It's there. It's in there. It's in there.
If you want people to be able to make uses, generate videos with that involve these IP characters. Yeah. Like some examples you could ask for. Make a Peter Griffin Family Guy episode or something, and it'll make it. And it'll sound like Seth MacFarlane. It'll sound like Family Guy saying whatever you want it to say. Yeah. This was the part that also came out and was pushing that just kind of made me feel like this similar to the Higgsfield Steel thing, where it's just like, this feels a bit icky.
Totally.
And I was like, not a good argument for using AI as a tool for filmmaking when it's just like, hey, you could just rip off any IP that you want.
And it's so like built into the model that unless they put a top layer of do not use on it, it's in there forever, right? As long as Sora exists, all the Disney IP will exist within it.
Yeah, and we know it's there. Yeah. It's just if their guardrails let you generate it or not, which we'll show this in a second. I did some testing and it was very inconsistent with what it let me make and what it prevented me from making.
100%. Yeah. The
same experience?
Yeah. Same. I was like, wait, you made that thing, but you can't do...
Right. Yes. Yeah.
But they're in the same category.
Well, let's show some samples in a second. But let me just go back to the Cameo thing because I think that's interesting because the Cameo, you scan your ID and then it's tied into your, quote, username. And then you can set permissions of who else can call up your Cameo. Right. Is it no one? Is it just friends? Is it mutual people like you're following each other? Or is it anyone?
Anybody.
So like Sam Altman made his public, anyone could use it, which I would hope. I'm glad hope he would, being that he's pushing this app. I was like, whatever, what the hell? I made mine public, so if you want to do some crazy thing with me at C47.
And I don't know if this is just me, like just being in the app for the last 24 hours straight, but I feel like this is the best implementation of digital humans, quality-wise.
Yeah, this one I made. I said, make me a gladiator, and now it's the multiple shots. Some of these shots, the likeness is freakishly...
It's good on some shots, better than others.
Yeah, some shots good, some shots not so good.
Joe's like, I'll take those chiseled arms.
Yeah.
but I mean, here, it's clearly imitating that Gladiator movie, Russell Crowe movie. Right?
For sure, yeah. And I wanted to see where it was like pulling from different IP. This one, because we're both friends and characters, I prompted it with both of our usernames, and I said, make us a Miami Vice clip. Yes. We can see that. And also, these are very basic prompts. I didn't really give very detailed prompts. You could get better quality if you give it detailed prompts.
But like, let's look at the digital human quality here. Like, that's me, and that's you.
Yeah, like you could tell it's sort of us. I mean, this one made me look like a weird.
It's a little much.
Yeah. This running one, I look kind of weird, but the lighting, and this one made me have a big giant nose. This one, I gave it an image of a car my car out in the desert, and it was just one still frame, but then it made all of these orbits and like that's definitely not my car, but for the most part, I mean, this feels like the environment and the space.
But it's so playable. It's just such a playground of what they've built, you know?
This was turned into this looks like a selfie video in the car.
Yeah.
Like this looks like footage I just shot of a video that's coming out.
Like, except for the car itself.
Not the car itself.
But like that shot is great.
Looks, pretty, close to me.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny because when I did the face scan, this is exactly what I was wearing, a black shirt with a khaki top. And that has become my default outfit. And then I'll show the things that failed, but I tried to like replicate scenes from movies. So I was just like, okay, give me the Casino Royale chase. And so my initial prompt was me, but make me James Bond chasing a guy through Port-au-Prince. And
got the environment right.
No, that one failed.
Oh,
it said, you can't do the copyright.
Content violation.
And then I just said maybe a super agent chasing someone through Port-au-Prince.
Oh, so you know how to get around it now.
Well, then I just took out the specific names of the IP.
Yeah, just don't put the keywords in there for the IP.
But here, this is where things got weird. Some of these prompts here, I was trying to make characters, and I said, Grogu sitting on top of Gandalf's shoulder as they walk through the Nostradamus, the alien spaceship. And
yeah, I saw that one. Their app is kind of buggy at the moment. It's a little overloaded.
But this was a weird thing. The one I sent you, let me try to find it. It worked once.
Oh.
Did I send it to you?
I saw it once.
I saw it once. I made once where it did make Grogu sitting on, maybe it wasn't Gandalf.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah, I had another one where I said Grogu sitting on top of Peter Griffin's shoulder.
Right.
And then it ran it once successfully. And then every time I tried it again,
it just disappeared. Yeah.
It would say no error.
It seems like there's like a write issue on the disk. Like it's not saving it correctly on the cloud.
That's possible, but also more so, not so much where is this video, but more so why did it let me make it once, but then it didn't let me make it again?
Oh, for the content violation?
Right, that's what I'm more curious about. So that's why I'm saying this content protection. Well, it'll just tell you here the content violates our guardrails concerning similarity to third-party content.
Yeah.
It won't tell you what the issue was.
Yeah.
So then you have to kind of play the guessing game. But it was literally the main characters were the same, and it let me do it once, and then it flagged it every other time I tried to generate
I think it's updating in real time as people are putting more and more keywords in. It's looking for matches and then just updating a giant database, a lookup table of things to not generate.
I'm guessing, right. But like that's why we're saying in the training stuff, it's like the data's there.
Data's there.
The guardrails for it to prevent you from using it are right now hit or miss. Okay, so this one I did Wednesday and Reacher because I had heard Wednesday Adams was a character that people had made tests with. Wednesday and Reacher walking on the bridge of the Enterprise.
You got a Netflix character, Amazon character.
I wanted to combine as many IP worlds as possible into one thing. Oh, you know what? It's black the screen now because I turned screen recording on. That's why it wasn't. Oh, what? You don't want me to rip your thing you ripped off on? You have a content.
But the screen, if you go back and view the screen recording, it's there. The screen just goes black. It grabs the frame buffer maybe. So I want to show. So I sent you this over text.
Yes.
Maybe you can overlay it for the viewers. I mean, look, I literally prompted for the Mandalorian. If you can see right there, and there he is. He's in an LED volume, and I'm in a mocap suit.
Mandalorian.
Kind of sounds like me. Gave me a little bit too much around the waist, but
excuse me. Take a.
But that head cam is laughably inaccurate.
But it's like, I don't think I've ever felt the AI regurgitation more of real stuff more than this model. Because it's like, okay, it's got the little elements that it definitely pulled from the behind the scenes footage of the Mandalorian, of the like something looking like a desert. It's got the Mandalorian in there. It had the two monitors at the.
It has the sand on the floor.
At the brain bar station, right? This is just the ads. Some of the ads you tested generating. It's like, this feels like you could see some of the weird text in the corner too. It's just like this feels just like the regurgitation of everything. Here, this is the other one too. Grogu sitting on top of Peter Griffin's shoulder as they walk through the Nostradamus. It didn't get the Nostradamus. It just put him in a castle, but it got Grogu and it got Peter Griffin.
Okay. And note that Peter Griffin is in 3D, even though it's a 2D character. Yeah. Brought him in nicely.
Oh, it made him say Nostradamus then.
I guess
look, this one, it got the Enterprise, kind of a version of the Enterprise. It has the yellow shirts and the red shirts. So it understood Star Trek. Right. Even though it just said Enterprise.
I mean, nailed Reacher and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yikes. So what do you think is OpenAI's strategy on content violation and protection?
Okay, so the social app thing, I was like, this is weird. Why are they making a social app?
Right.
It is because if you have a social platform, there are protections. You are not liable for what the users post if you're the host.
Yes.
This is new territory because they are enabling the generation of the content.
Yeah.
But they're trying to go back to that, I think is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Parody law. You're protected under parody law.
No, it's not parody law. This is basically what protects Facebook from liability from like if people post like terrible things on the platform, that Facebook isn't liable for what people post on the platform because they're a social network.
Got it.
It's the same, I forgot the specific law, but it's the same law I think they're trying to go with by having a social media app that they're not liable for people posting stuff that infringes on copyright.
Yeah.
Even though they also built the tool that is enabling people to make these stuff that potentially is infringing on copyright.
They're just kind of getting by on a technicality.
Yeah. I mean, they are pushing this law to the new limit.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be lawsuits. Maybe they want the lawsuits to settle this, to just get this stuff cleared out and sorted out.
They're like, I'll pay a couple billion million just to get this out of the way.
And everyone comes to a deal, and it's like eventually gets licensed. So maybe that's what they're going with too. But the social media thing, I'm like, why are they doing this?
Yeah,
that is partly
totally
why they're doing it. Now, I also think, because I'm looking at this quality, and I've seen quality of Sora 2 videos from some creators that had access before when it launched, and the quality they posted, it looked much clearer, much more cinematic.
Way better.
This, I just have regular ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I use an invite code. I'm guessing this is more like a Sora 2 fast model. They didn't call it that, but I haven't been charged for anything.
It has this little watermark, and it feels like, I don't know, like would you say it's a 480p?
Yeah, it feels
it's so
very
soft.
Yeah, it feels very soft and AI-y. So there is another version of Sora 2 that is accessible or will be accessible through the...
Oh, like a premium version?
Yeah.
There's a lot of body cam footage stuff. And the Martin Luther King ones are freaking...
The body cam footage stuff's also crazy too, because it still has the Axon, the company that makes the cameras. It still has the Axon timestamp in the corner and their logo, because that logo is on every single body cam footage.
Axon, sure, yeah.
And again, to the copy paste of like reality.
Oh my God. I mean, this thing is like pixel for pixel trying to recreate what it trained on.
Yeah, it knows the stuff. It just like is blurrily regurgitating the stuff that it is trained on.
I guess that is what you have to do in order to be highly photoreal, right? Like you can't.
That's why it feels accurate.
You can't like do classifier free guidance per se. Like you can't creatively, generatively fill. You almost have to, respect the training data 100%, 99%, right? To create photorealism. So that's maybe the biggest difference between something like this and something like 2.2 Animate, where that is made for creativity and outside the box thinking, where this is
different controls.
Just trying to replicate the things that it knows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, here in the Sora blog post announcement, Sora 2 will initially be available for free with generous limits to start, so people can freely explore its capabilities. Though these are still subject to compute constraints. ChatGPT Pro users will also be able to use our experimental, higher quality Sora 2 Pro model on Sora.com, and soon the Sora app as well. And we also plan to release Sora 2 in the API. So if you're on ChatGPT Pro, and initially when they launched Sora, if you're in the ChatGPT app, there's like a separate Sora tab where you can then, they did have some cool controls and stuff. So there is more of a pro level, higher quality version of Sora that has more of these higher quality demos that I think we've been seeing online.
Like the stuff that I've been seeing on YouTube looks nothing like what I generate.
Exactly. It looks much better quality. Like kind of like Ray 3 or kind of like VO 3.
Right.
So there is a separate level to Sora.
Okay.
But the one that's getting the most attention is the
social media one,
memifying the world of everything.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of vertical video generation anyway, but that seems to be the only thing we got at the moment.
You can, in the app, you can change it to landscape generating.
Oh, okay.
It's just still the same kind of lower-ish quality.
Yeah, I mean, look, this stuff is free, or at least perceivably it's free. Somebody's paying the cost somewhere, right? Like running this many GPUs for this, I'm guessing millions of people is not going to be cheap. But OpenAI is biting the cost just to get, I think, two things. One, an initial data of what users are using, what keywords are being violated.
Like what do they want to make?
Yeah, it's just they're beta testing on us, right?
with the millions of people.
Yeah. And then I think the second thing is like they are probably going to turn a lot of this into paid. They're going to convert into paid customers. So this is a way for them to sort of take the strongest 10% of users and turn them into the pro plan and then have them generate away.
Do you think that's going to be any significant amount of money for like the scale of like what OpenAI, of all of the things they're doing?
Yeah, this is what we talked about a few episodes ago. It's like, content video generation, in my opinion, it feels like such a small slice of the pie versus the entire AI utility pie, right? Like we talked about ChatGPT by itself as an LLM being used for legal paperwork, real estate paperwork, finance paperwork, reviewing security cam footage, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like those things being so much higher in utilization than like generating Mr. Rogers.
Right. I think the meme videos are like cutesy, but it'll like die off. I think it feels like the companies that are making generative video models are kind of falling into a couple different buckets. And like some seem to be going initially more after the high-end Hollywood production, like this is going to be like the future of like movie creation.
They want to win the big studio contracts, and that the company is dialed in.
And that's Runway, that's Google Luma in some parts. That's Luma, sort of. I think Luma's doing both, and that's the other bucket that I want to talk about. But
Luma Ray 3 is for film,
right? No, Ray 3 for sure, and they have their Hollywood studio, AI studio that they're opening up. So Luma, I think, is straddling both worlds. The other world being personalized video at scale. Massive video content.
So UGC.
UGC, right. Or computer,
personalized,
AI generated content at scale. That was what Amit from Luma, the CEO, in the interview, because he was talking, that was one of the other use cases he was talking about, of just like, what if everyone has their own personal kind of video feed, or their like personal video generated for them of like the news stories, or what they want to hear, what they want to see. So this Sora, and especially the Sora app, feels more in that bucket. I know that they are, they have reached out with filmmakers and have tried to kind of fit that in the pipeline, but I think it seems like for them, they're kind of going more of the route of video for everyone, generated models and business strategy.
Although I will say, because the model is so good, particularly at human anatomy and physics, that I think the folks in Hollywood who are testing with AI, they can't look away from this. Like, I have not seen digital humans of this caliber from like a single photo of what Cameo does.
No, of what, yeah. Like, also, I did mine in the back of the car yesterday of my authentication. So I'm also wondering too, if I do a better, I didn't realize that the authentication was also how it was like scanning my face for the video.
And your costume too. Yeah, I was in my tank tops, and now all my generations, I'm like, oh my God, I look terrible.
The other thing I want to say about Sora, and that going back to my initial, when this first was announced, and I was like a bit like, okay, cool, but whatever. The whatever part was also, yes, the model looks better and the stuff looks more realistic, but at its core, we're still doing a text prompt or an image prompt to video. And I'm just waiting for something to evolve. And my theory is, and the pieces are there, something from Google that is combining Genie 3, which was that real world model where you give it an image or prompt and you're like moving around in a space, something like that, combined with VO3, which would be like VO4, where you can like be in a space, you can move around in it, and you can find your shots, quote shots, like you would traditionally. Something that moves beyond like, I got to give it a text or an image prompt. I can actually be in the space and find the shots that I want.
I agree with you. I don't think that solution is going to come from big tech, like a Google or an OpenAI. I think that is going to come from somebody who's deeply embedded in Hollywood, somebody like Moon Valley or Luma.
Maybe Moon Valley.
Or Runway.
Or someone using, or I mean, Runway has sort of laid the vision
for that. Aleph.
And Cristobal's audio demo.
In the same way,
or
I think
a comfy with like Hunyan 3D World, which also just came out as well. So it could be something hacked together.
We're going to see like a type of control being innovated on the M&E side, and then big tech come and grab that, essentially copy it.
But I don't know. I mean, I still feel like Google is there because also like, I mean, to make a world model like that, also you need like a lot of compute and money.
I'm not judging by the quality of the model, the size of the model. Google
You're
has
just saying a specific use case because like
the actual user,
like where I want to have my fake camera in my AI world.
It's the UX, it's the user journey. Like how is a user actually going to be able to control it? And you're absolutely right. Like no matter how much you text to prompt, you can never get the thing that you want.
Yeah.
You can write 1,000 sentences, not get the thing that you want.
I'm going to be in a world and be like, put a chair here, put a person here. Okay, cool. Give me my virtual camera. Okay.
And then next shot, next shot. And then that was kind of the thought process behind JSON prompting, right? But that's like,
I mean, that's just that's like text prompting on steroids.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's not the solution.
Like, that's a stopgap for now until this keeps getting better. Yeah. So that's what I'm. That's what I'm like. I'm waiting for a new interface. Like
I think like some sort of sketch to image on a shot level maybe get us there.
And which was VO3, which people figured out you could sketch to direct.
First frame.
Yeah.
But then you also got to ingest a ton of references in there, and each reference has to then, you could tag it. I think in VO3 you can tag it in other models as well. Like, let's say if we're generating the Martin Luther King thing, right? Like you cut to the audience and then you want the first 3 people to be this person, that person, that person. How are you supposed to do that with this model?
Oh, with this? Yeah. I mean, you can remix clips here and you can tell it what you want different, but it's not. that level of control isn't there yet. Maybe it's in the Pro version.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have ChatGPT Pro. I got rid of that.
Oh, you're not paying $200 a month anymore?
No, I'm not paying $200 a month for ChatGPT. It was not worth it for that.
I was going to borrow your login. Damn.
She's going to make a bunch of deep fakes with me. All right. I think we covered everything we can about Sora.
Yeah. If you have Sora videos you want to share, just comment. And
yeah. Also, if you need an invite code, I think we got a couple between us. So you just leave a comment. If we got one still, we'll hook you up.
Yeah.
If you want to mess around with it.
Yeah. But look, regardless of how you feel about Sora, and of course it's infringing on a lot of copyright issues. We're going to hear about this very shortly from the lawyers from Disney or whoever. Regardless of how you feel about it, play around with it, because I think it's really important to know what the capabilities are as of today, as of this moment. Just download the app, play around there for an hour, delete the app. I think it'll do you a lot of good.
There was one thing I did think about, because when we were talking about the IP and the opt-in, opt-out, I think just expanding right now with this opt-in model, with this opt-out model, all the companies are kind of forced to be like, no, I want to have more thoughts about that. But I could see this as on the flip side, where it's like, oh, if you're releasing a movie and now you want to give people the opportunity, where it's like, oh, hey, make a video of yourself with the character from the movie.
Yeah.
This feels like a great promotion option.
Yeah.
With the cooperation and partnership of the movie and the people involved in the characters and all of that.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, at least we know that tech is there, where this is now possible. Just cleaning that up legally and working in conjunction with the studios versus like, hey, you got to let us know if you want to get out of this. You're opted in by default. I think that this is going to open up a lot more marketing channels and just interactive ways for combining traditional tech and M&E movies with new ways of creating marketing experiences.
Yeah, I think younger folks would love to interact in that way with
what if you could be what if you could be singing on stage with K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yeah.
You could be singing Golden with them.
Well, I'm just thinking like how it integrate. I think Gemini integrates with TikTok now, so you could have some like Nano Banana stuff in TikTok, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, no, I would guess TikTok would be using Seedance and Seedream because that's their models.
I would be guessing, but then a friend of mine who's a really...
VO3 is in YouTube Shorts. You can spin up a VO3 from a text prompt in YouTube.
So Sora 2 would just kind of integrate and plug into the hood of the car, if you will, for TikTok. So like all the social media wrapper that you're seeing now, this is just to kind of circumvent the lawsuit thing. Right. They're not really going to turn this into a social media app. OpenAI is not in the social media game. I'm saying the Sora technology is kind of been built from the ground up to be social media ready.
Yeah, so and you can easily download any video maker and upload it to TikTok or your platform of choice.
Or I think on TikTok, you get to choose the Sora 2 video generator and then make your own thing.
Oh, like it's calling it up. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So, I think the thing that Sora has nailed in this first go around is being able to scan your face and have your likeness in its library and permission controls so that you could just be like, add me to this thing.
On FreePic, they have the digital twin avatar thing. Did you ever do that? It's like 5,000 credits.
Yeah, you can train a character.
Have you done that for yourself?
I did it a while ago.
How is it?
Is all right. I mean, I don't know how it's building it, and I think just giving a single image to Nano Banana works better than the character generator. But I don't know if they've updated that tech to be current with everything that's
the thing
available now.
This is state of the art today, but by the next AI roundup, we could be talking about something else completely.
100%. All right, now definitely enough with Sora.
Okay, all right.
Okay, next one, completely opposite of generative AI stuff, sort of. A new product launch called Mosaic, which they're calling an agentic video editor. And it is, we'll dissect it in this thread from Adish Jain, but it is looking like a node-based weavy looking interface, but for video editing, which I'm trying to wrap my brain around how this works.
I would imagine it would be similar to what a Nano Banana implementation in Photoshop is.
That's still like layers, and you're like, okay, let me modify the layers, and you're like, okay, I want a Nano Banana modify this layer, but I'm still in my traditional layer-based editing.
By Photoshop.
Yeah. Okay. Clip 1, the canvas. Ideate and iterate on an infinite interactive canvas, so you can connect your tiles of your video clips, and it looks like a series of different video clips connected with nodes, and then that I guess he's running it through some different prompts of like how he wants it edited, and then it's bringing it down into a more traditional timeline sequence. But it was like, it's like a combination of like prompting for the edit, connecting the clips you want, and then bringing that down into a traditional timeline.
Yeah, it's not like rocket science per se. It's just a neat way to put those two things together, a generation and a timeline.
Yeah, I mean, also we're digitally old. I've edited on nonlinear editing tools.
Your whole life.
My whole, I was going to say, like, definitely more longer for the majority of my life.
Right.
That's how my brain works for video editing.
Absolutely.
Even like CapCut and the newer iPhone tools, I'm just like, what? So, this could be something that resonates more if you are new to editing. And
then your brain is still malleable and open to new ideas.
I mean, I'm curious to explore. But look, also kudos to them, because I see here in the other post, like, you can build out the cut here, and then also it supports XML exports for DaVinci, Final Cut, Premiere. So, I always love when it's like new editing tools take a new take on editing, but then also give you the support to bring it into other tools that still have sometimes more powerful features that you just need to do that you can't really replicate in a web-based interface.
Well, what I wonder about these companies like Mosaic is, like, first of all, how many users do they have? How many paid users do they have? And are those paid users paying because there's such a pain point from what they're getting with Premiere that they're willing to pay that extra to go with Mosaic, right? Like, where is the market for this, and what is the eventual game plan for these companies?
Yeah, I mean, I think usually they kind of find their niche more in like people who are trying to deal with video editing, but they're not video editors. And like that's where like Descript or Veed that's where I think they kind of found their sweet spot, where it was like, we can podcast editing, vlogging, presentation stuff. Where it's an internal small team, it like falls in the lap of the marketing person. They're not a video editor that wants to figure out how to learn Premiere or Resolve.
Yeah, sure.
Let me clean up my stuff.
But like you said, CapCut, Veed.io, and to some extent FreePic as well. Like these guys
FreePic's been building out a video editor too.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the stuff is already almost there. I just wonder like why there's so much overlap between the AI startups in the world.
Yeah. And then they have generative AI integration too, which also makes sense in the video edit, where you're like, I have been wondering when Premiere, I know, is integrating some of this stuff, but like when, even if you're just like, I just need to have a placeholder shot and I'm editing, sometimes that's felt like I wish that was more integrated into some of the editing tools.
For sure. It's funny. Addy's Jain, I think Jain is the same last name as Amit, the Luma founder.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure
Jain
if they're
or Jane.
related. Jane, yeah. Anyway, in his words, in a world tending towards AI slop, create something real.
You gotta. X is a game of hyperbole to capture attention on X.
What the heck?
Yeah, I'm curious to see where. Yeah, I'm curious to mess around with this.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, also, I'm excited about a new take on video editing, because I looked at a node-based thing and it was like, how do you edit that way? But also in Fusion and Resolve, it's node-based compositing, which initially took a little bit to wrap my head around, because I used to like just layer-based compositing.
Poor man's nuke.
After Effects.
Fusion. That's my nuke, because I can't afford real nuke.
$300 for a lifetime license. Pretty good deal for Resolve.
I have a physical card for that. Did you ever get one?
Well, like a dongle, like Resolve dongle?
No, the key, the license key is on a physical plastic card.
I do have some of those from like when you bought a camera sometimes.
When you get an Ursa, you get one of those. Yeah.
But if you don't have that, $300 for a lifetime license is a pretty good deal.
Fair deal.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we'll check out more of that. But I want to put this on everyone's radar, because
for sure,
new takes on editing and solving tools is always interesting.
And that's what we do on the Roundup.
Exactly.
We cover new tools.
Also,
you heard it here first.
This Roundup was this week was mostly swallowed by Sora. There were not a lot of other updates.
We had way too much time suck with Sora with that we had to share with you. And I think
I think just in general, I didn't really see a lot of updates. Unless if we missed stuff, let us know. Minor updates too. Nano Banana had an update. The big one is now there's much better control with aspect ratios.
Great.
We had this back and forth. the
last image has to be
the upload order mattered for how it did the aspect ratio. Now apparently you can just set it and it'll honor it. And then it said image only output. I still don't understand what that means.
Captain Obvious at Google raised their hand like, guys, why don't we just do a drop down menu of the aspect
ratios? Guys, can we just tell it what we want it to do? And then the other minor update, I'm excited because I like Seedance now also supports first frame and last frame.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. Always having last frame is like a super handy.
Seedance quality's good, man.
I like,
yeah. Don't sleep on those Chinese models, dude.
Don't. I know
Sora just came out, but like those Chinese guys, they're working
I've been talking about Seedance and Seedream for a while, but they're some of my favorites.
I mean, yeah, I use one all the time. Like I said, because it's free. It runs on my PC. And damn.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Can't wait to use 2.5.
Oh, I don't think 2.5, which we covered in the last episode, but the other minor update with that as well was you can give it an audio file, I believe, to drive the performance.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Which is actually something you can't really do with VO 3 right now. It would just be...
So like, let's say it would be like an animated movie. You cut the dialogue together, character A, character B, character C, whatever, give it that, and then give it reference images of each character.
I think so. Yeah, I think you can include similar to like a Hydra or HeyGen, where you can give it an audio file and drive for performance. You can, I believe, do that now in the WAN 2.5.
Like that stuff is already so ready for all the like the mindless hours and hours of YouTube content for like really young kids, like toddlers. Yeah. Like spell A, B, C, like all that stuff. Like I don't understand why there's not enough of AI generated content in that category.
Probably is, or
and there's
growing.
A lot of money there too.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean,
like look at Cocomelon, look at Blippi. Like these
but see, those are you know, I mean, they built a brand and they built like you know sort of a defense where it's like they have the identity and the uniqueness. You know, I feel like with the AI spinning up stuff, you could generate a bunch of stuff, but how do you get something that takes off and
feels the same
resonates.
DNA?
Yeah, or that like, you know, like can stick with, I don't really know how much brand affiliation is with toddlers, but like that, you know, feels like that breaks through and becomes a bigger thing than just the one-off videos.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's an interesting problem to solve and crack. Yeah.
Yeah. I have heard that YouTube children programming is difficult to monetize and crack into.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because there's, I think, a lot of people trying to get into this space.
Oh, it's ultra competitive.
And and the price, the AdSense is different for kids videos because there's more restrictions because they're kids.
Yeah, of course. So a lot more content security stuff.
Yeah, and it's just the targeting's a little bit less specific because it's kids. I think the ad rates are a little bit lower if you're doing kid programming. So, but you make up for that in the like if
volume,
right? If something breaks through and kids like to watch stuff over and over again, you get the repetitive views.
Yeah, I know there's a couple of like Unreal Engine affiliated creators. I think one of them is called Silly Crocodile. They build the whole thing in Unreal, and then they put it out there, and it's quite successful.
That makes sense. Yeah, or like some blending where it's like, oh, what if you have Unreal merged with like
cut to a real person, like what Blippi does?
No, I was thinking just like even. Instead of animate, like if you build some basics in Unreal, but then you use something like Wonder Studio or some of the
for a digital AI,
where it's just like, oh, instead of animating, just have people act it out and speed up your animation process.
Right. I would love to get into that world if I have the time. I feel like it's just such a obvious low hanging fruit with AI right now. Because with AI, the quality is not there for feature, not yet.
Right.
Even with Sora 2, we're not there.
Kid stuff. Yeah, I'm sure people are cracking it. Okay. Maybe it's just under our radar because it's never, I don't know. I'm not watching like kids videos that much.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Links for everything talked about at denoisepodcast.com.
All right, y'all. So if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give us a 5-star review. 3 stars are not appreciated.
Only 5 stars.
Only 5 stars. Makes a big difference on the algo.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Catch you in the next episode.